I knew from my work before I was arrested that the families know nothing about their loved ones once they are arrested by the government. The government denies they arrested them and won't provide any information about them. So it was vital for me to create a list with the names of all the detainees inside the cell. I asked a group of 4 people to help me create the list. It was a really risky mission because we were detained in a military facility led by Maher al-Assad. He is the brother of Bashar al-Assad, the Syrian president. And so I explained to them why it's important to create the list and to inform the families. And if the jailers knew what we were doing, they could beat us to death. However, we took the risk and start discussing how we would do it. We don't have anything. Everything is banned in detention. We don't have pens. We don't have papers, of course. So we had to use the tools that are available in that cell. We wanted a liquid to write with. So we tried at first the liquid of the food they brought us. Sometimes it was tomato soup, light tomato soup, because we tried it and there was so much water in the soup, and the color of the tomato won't last on cloth. When we write, the writing smudge. So, and once they brought us eggplant soup or something like that, and eggplants have a blue color maybe, and we tried it, also didn't work. It smudged on the cloth. So we were frustrated really, and the whole mission was failing. One of our group just said, I have a solution. I cannot mention his name publicly because he is still disappeared, but I will call him Ahmad now, Ahmad. He went to the bathroom and came back with a little plastic bag with a red liquid inside. He squeezed blood from his gum and from his wounds. In the cell, almost all of us were having bleedy gums. It was slightly bleeding, but constantly. So whenever you smile, for example, you see pinky teeth. So I was shocked, of course. He used his blood to, write down the names to inform their families of their whereabouts. And indeed, we tried the blood. Nabil Shorbaji wrote a word on a piece of cloth, and we waited till it get dry, and it worked. We find the way to write the names. We find the ink. Nabil used a chicken pawn, tiny chicken pawn, as a quill to, dip it in the blood and write the names on the cloth. We looked at it and it was clear and readable. Then I suggested that we could mix the blood with rust, iron rust, and it may, leave more trace on the cloth. We had iron bars in the ground of our cell, so we used the rust. We scratched the rust and mixed it with the blood. And we tried it again, and it was almost perfect ink. Now we had the tools, the ink, and the quill, the chicken bone, and the cloth as paper. After we had the tools, we started collecting the names. For example, one of us sit with a group of people and ask them about their names and contact information, telling them that in case he was released, he would contact their families and inform them. And then we went back to Nabil in a corner and told him the names that we gathered, and he wrote them down on the cloth. After we finished writing the names, we hid the cloth pieces in the cuffs and a collar of one shirt. And we decided that the first one to be called out or moved from the cell will wear the shirt and smuggle the names. I knew it was me because days before I was called out by the jailers, and they made me sign papers. I knew later that they were my confession, and normally when they do that, it means that a matter of days or a couple of weeks, you will be moved out from that cell. My fellow detainees gathered around me and started telling me their names and their contacts and with their cities, and asking me to inform their families that they are alive and that they need help, and to tell them to do whatever they can to release them. I was released. After I was released, I started looking for the families to, inform them about their loved ones and the situation. And I managed to reach almost all, almost. And it was difficult to find some families because a lot of people were displaced by the time I was released. So from that list, almost the vast majority are still disappeared. Only 7 of them were released. It had 82 names. Now, 65 names on that list are still disappeared, and we don't know anything about them. And those 65 are just a little part of the more than 100,000 people disappeared by Assad regime until now, and we don't have any information about them. We need to act. We, as the international community, the United States, the most powerful country in the world, we need to save the rest.